Hey guys! Ooh, I look like a corpse. Sometimes it's like when you film and then you see yourself on your phone or whatever, you realize like your lips just make you look so dead or something. So, I put some lip gloss on. I love this Anastasia of Beverly Hills. Like this matte lipstick, liquid lipstick. It stays on for like 24/7. It's like 20 bucks, so it was definitely like my first, like, I guess maybe luxury brand makeup that I've ever bought for myself. Usually I was very drugstore, and I never like bought myself like name brand makeup products. Just wasn't something I was ever like interested in. But then I was like, man, I'm so sick of like lipsticks and lip glosses and stuff just like coming off. So I invested the 20 bucks, and it has lasted me a really long time. I know it's only supposed to last it says 6 months, but I mean it's lasted me over a year. Whatever, it's just me using it. What do I care? I know, germs. So anyway, I saw the psychiatrist this morning. Well, first off, I woke up really early, went to my grandma's, took care of her, and then I had a psychiatrist appointment at 9:45. I don't know if I was just like really tired or like my head was in my ass or what, but I could not find her office, and I've been there once before. And then I went to her office and I couldn't find it, and my appointment was at 9:45, and apparently psychiatrist, my appointment was only for 15 minutes. I'm like, what do you mean 15 minutes? 15 minutes? How can you diagnose me or like really get something accurate in 15 minutes? But I was late, and then they wanted me to repeat this like ADHD test because I like really failed it bad the first time I took it. But to be honest with you, when I took it, I was up all night with my really sick grandma because I spent the night with her, and I just like couldn't concentrate. I was so tired, and I didn't follow the directions, so I failed it. And she was like kind of accusing me of like purposely failing it, and I was like, listen, like I was taking care of my grandma all night. I was sleeping. I didn't sleep all that night, and then I wasn't expected to take like a test, and honestly, I was just like wanting to, I did my best. I don't know what I did, but I probably didn't read the instructions, and I thought I could just take the test without like reading it, so I totally like failed it. Whatever. So then I had to retake it, and I'm pretty sure I kicked the test's ass, but I don't know, like, I don't get how these like assignments work, like these like CNS testing, where they test you to see like if you have like ADHD or not, because it's like, sure, your test is almost kind of like a video game to me. Like Candy Crush, I'm good at. Like I'm on, you know, level 1200 and something, you know? But, and that's like what this test was. It's kind of like, remember this pattern. Yeah, I don't have problems with that. I don't even know how they're grading it. So we'll see. But what I do have problems with is like focusing on things that I don't find to be fun, or things that are like very tedious and has like not reputation, what's it called? I don't know, like just like the boring, tedious things. It's just not meant for me. I start like repetition. I'm not good at that. Whatever. We'll see. If that psychiatrist doesn't work for me, I'll find a new one. You know, that maybe is a little bit more like hands-on, opposed to someone who isn't. Sorry. So, anyways, I got home, and I, you know, was working this morning with my grandma and grandpa, you know, cooked them breakfast and took care of some of like their needs and everything. And then I just, you know, I always feel better with a shower, so I took one real quick, and next thing I know, I'm gonna be like late if I don't hurry up to my back doctor. So my back has been hurting since I was 12 years old. I used to do martial arts, and I don't know if like from falling or whatever, taking the impact on my back has just messed it up or what. I've been to a chiropractor. I went to Chiro 1, and I was not impressed with them at all. I felt like they were very much like wanting to push their like merchandise on me, like, here, you need a back brace. No, well, you know, I'm 20 at that time. I think I was like 24. It's like, no, I'm 24 years old. I'm not wearing a back brace to the bars at night. Like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not, you know. And then they want to sell you their orthotics, and they want to, and it's just like very much scammy in my opinion. I didn't have like the greatest like experience with them. I'm sure there's some good chiropractors out there, but I also feel like, you know, they're not doing MRIs. They're not really figuring, and like, and this is my own experience. I know a lot of people swear by them and everything, but I feel like, yeah, it feels good to be like adjusted, sure, but then why do I have to keep maintaining and coming back and coming back and coming back? Like, I just want to see, hey, you know what, you actually do have arthritis here, like this pain isn't ever gonna go away. Like, just, I want to know why, so that way I can start correcting the problem. You know, my, like, legit, like, my chiropractor's like, oh, well, you know, your back probably hurts because, you know, if you have your cell phone, you're looking down, you know, you're causing your neck to be out of a line and da-da-da. It's like, sure, but I've had back problems before I even had a cell phone, so, you know, I'm sure that has some validity to it, but in carrying backpacks and everything else, but, you know, I want to know how to fix the problem long-term, not temporarily. And I don't want to come to your stupid office every day, because normal people can't do that sort of thing, and get adjusted and do your stupid physical therapy exercises that Chiro 1 decided was, you know, what they think you need to do. Like, it's not even like a real physical therapy. So they called it their therapies, and I didn't agree with it. So I did it for like a year. And sure, I think at the time I thought I felt better, but looking at it, I was still in pain. I was still taking 5 Advils like twice a day, or 8 Advils, you know, daily. So, you know, I feel like a massage almost does more. Oh my gosh, I'm already at 8 minutes. Is that really me just rambling on about Chiro 1? Yeah, so I'm gonna actually see a back specialist and see what he has to say. He's very thorough. I believe he comes from Rush Memorial Hospital in Chicago, and then now he's out in the burbs, and he gets booked up very fast. And I was lucky because he just came out here, and I called and someone had canceled, so I snatched that appointment as fast as I could. And I'm like, here I go. This is great. Because I called another back doctor. Is it called orthotics? I called another one, and they were like, we can get you in on September 20 something or another, or September 14th, and that was back, you know, a few weeks ago. It's just, it feels like anytime you need to see a specialist or anything and you're a new patient, you have to wait. And that's like the tricky part, is like the waiting. Because from that point on, you're in pain. Just like my whole thyroid thing. You know, I started that process back in June, and I'm not even going to get my surgery now until the second week of October. So, really, you just end up, it's like the waiting game, and you just don't really know what's going to happen. But I'm sick of it, so I don't want surgery on my back. That's something that I've already pretty much like, no, I don't want surgery, but I want to know what is really causing my pain. Is it Hashimoto's? Is it, like, my sciatic nerve literally goes out every night, and it's just getting to be more and more frequent, and the pain is getting more and more and more. And you know, when I was 12, I was on meloxicam, which is not good for your kidneys, and then all the ibuprofens and Tylenol and everything else. I mean, none of that is good for you. So then it's like, then you start like going down the rabbit hole of like trying to figure out what other things that you can take and try to make, you feel comfortable. So, I'm on a heating pad for like hours at night, and then you start taking CBD oil, and then you're taking medical marijuana, and it's just like, enough is enough. Like, it's time to just figure out the root cause and figure out how to fix it. And I'm hoping without surgery, because I hear my mom had back surgery and she still has issues, and a lot of people say after like 5 years then you have issues again, and say like you do get back surgery, you can never go to a chiropractor again, I've heard. So, not that, like I said before, I don't necessarily believe in chiropractors. However, if later down the line I want to give it another go, I don't have that option, because I chose surgery when I was, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in my high 20s tomorrow. I'll be 27, you guys. 27 years old, and I'm falling apart. So we will see. My car is also now starting to like really just burn oil. Like, you can usually, they say change your oil every 3 months or every 3,000 miles. But usually you can get away with a little bit more than that. Almost like 6,000 miles I've heard you can get away with. But my car, it just burns oil, so I would say it almost needs to go in like every 2,000 miles to get an oil change, because it just like burns the, it's starting to become an older car. I'm not even really sure. I mean, my car should last at least like another 50,000 miles to up to 200,000, I would think. But I can just, she's getting old, and I can just hear that it's not the same car that I used to drive. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I thought I really wanted an SUV because I like how high you are, like in the vehicle. They're safe. They get pretty good gas mileage now. But to be honest with you, I'm not impressed by very many of these SUVs that are out. I drove the Honda CR-V thinking that was the car I really wanted, so I had that as a loaner for about a week, and it was very plasticky. The rear view backup camera definitely looked to me like a 90s surveillance camera. It wasn't great quality. It was a smooth ride though, I will say. It was definitely a very, very smooth car, but it was very plastic. It was okay. The exterior reminds me a lot of like the Honda Fit, and no offense if you drive one of those cars, I test drove one when I was trying to decide what I wanted originally, like in 2012, and I do not like the way, and a lot of people don't like the way a Cube, like a Nissan Cube or a Kia Soul looks, but I really don't like the way a Honda Fit looks. To me, like, it reminds me very much of a shoe. And those were like the cars that like I could afford at the time when I was like 20. I could afford either like the Fit or the Kia Soul, and the Fit didn't come in a stick shift. It had paddle shifters, which do not tell me paddle shifters are close to driving a stick shift. Like some guy like came over to my house the other day and he was like, oh yeah, this new car I have, it came turned into a stick. And I said, you mean with the paddle shifters? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, it's not really a stick shift. Like, you don't have a clutch. You know, it's not a stick. It's not. I don't know. Paddle shifters just piss me off. I think it's almost kind of like function. Like, there's like no point for them. Like, what's your point of a paddle shifter? Like on a Honda Fit. Are you gonna race it? Then you need to calm down. Like, there's no reason that you need a paddle shifter on a Honda Fit or on any car. I hate paddle shifters. They're so stupid. My opinion, you might love your paddle shifter and maybe you use it every single day and good for you. I don't really think they're anything special. So anyway, that's why another big reason why I didn't get the Honda Fit is because it wasn't a manual car and it looked like a shoe to me, and the Kia Soul reminded me of more of like a smaller SUV, and it was manual, so I decided on this car, and it was cheaper, but Hondas do hold their value better. Like, honestly, if I would have gotten the Honda Fit, I probably would have had like the money would have been like retained its value a little bit better. But at the end of the day, like, you don't buy things to try to make money. Like, I'm not gonna buy a car and hope to make like money back on it, you know? Like, I don't buy a shirt and go, oh, I spent $3 on this shirt, let me try to like, I'll buy it because I know I'll get $1 back for it. Like, for me, I don't do that. I buy a car because I want it or I like it, or you know, whatever. And already, if you buy a stick shift car, you're already gonna lose money on it, because unless you're driving like a Camaro or a sport car, that is the intention, you know, this is for a speed thing, and then you have a stick that's a little different. But in the meanwhile, you buy a Kia Soul that's a stick shift, who can drive it, you know. My mom got me this. Can you guess where she works? Oops. This vlog is getting long. I don't even know if anyone's gonna even watch this, but it's all good. I'm just driving to the back, doctor. Don't step on a crack and you'll break your mama's back. So tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm not a big birthday celebrator. I have friends that like want to go out for their whole birthday month and everything. I forget every year that it's gonna be like my birthday. Like, it doesn't really mean very much to me, because like I'm gonna be 27. There's like no milestone. Like, when you're 16, it's a big deal. When you're 25, you're allowed to rent a car. You're a quarter of a century old. You're kind of in your mid-20s at that point. And then, but like, you know, like, there's certain milestone birthdays, and then I just feel like, you know, once you hit 30, it's kind of like a big deal, I guess. Which I have to kind of think, like, if I want to do something for my husband, like something special, because he's turning 30, but the problem with his birthday is he's born December 12th, and then Christmas is like literally, you know, 2 weeks later. It's December 25th, so it's like, even if I want to like throw him like a birthday party or something, it's a little hard, because, you know, people have a lot of holiday things, and I just feel like he gets gypped. But I definitely like want to do something special for him. I'm just not really sure exactly what I should do. If you have any ideas, you know, leave it in the comments below. I would love to do like a surprise thing. I know sometimes he watches my videos, so if you're watching, hey boo. But I don't know. I wouldn't even know exactly, like, what to do for them, just because of the whole holiday situation. Unless I planned it, I don't even know. Why do things have to be so complicated? It's because you make them complicated. Don't make things complicated if you don't want to be complicated. But for my birthday, I think I am. If I don't, my brother, we spend like about $100 on each other, which is kind of like silly. Like, he's born in July and I'm born obviously in August, and so it's almost like we'd be better off saying, you know, buy your own gift, happy birthday. But it, you know, no one ever does. We always say we're gonna do that, but we never do. But he asked my mom what he should get me, and I'm like, video editing software, please. So if I don't get that, then I'm just gonna like buy it myself, because I really want video editing. I went to Walmart, which is probably like not the greatest place to buy video editing software, but I went there because I went to Best Buy and they couldn't even ring it up, and then they couldn't even, like, they had to put the key code or whatever on the box in their system, and it didn't work. And I was like waiting. They're like, oh, well, we could call the manager. And I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go. Like, this is already taking way too long. No offense, we've used like 6 boxes. It's just not meant to be. I'm gonna go. So I went to Walmart and they didn't have anything. And then the guy was like, oh, go download Movie Maker 10 from Windows, and it's free. Sure, it's free to make the freaking thing, but you can't save it unless you buy it. And then it wasn't even that good of like editing software, so I'm like, I'd rather not spend the $10 or whatever it was to buy that video software thing. I'd rather just buy like a real video editing software and then make my own, like, you know, have like a better quality one. So we'll see. And then I also have a hard time downloading my videos from my cell phone to my computer because they say the files are too big. So I'm trying to learn all of this, but it's so new to me and I'm not really sure how to do things. But I would love to be able to like not have an awkward face as my thumbnail forever. And I would really like to grow my channel and have more of like an impact, I guess, on YouTube. So I think it's just, you know, one day at a time, one step at a time, and that's it. Alright, you guys, I think I've talked your ear off for long enough, and I will just see you guys later. Bye.